Okay, so happy Sunday. Good afternoon, black women. I did feel that I did have to come speak about this. I'm actually on my way to pick up some asthma medication for one of my grands. But here's the thing, right? I was listening to Nosy Neighbor Lady and a few other people who had quite a very negative and very toxic response to Cardi B's address to the poor community, right? Because we know she's not black. She's a Hispanic woman presenting to be black. And that's usually what people do to come up off of the black community when they can't do it in the white one. So she made a point, regardless of how stupid you may think she is. She made a serious point when she was calling out the Democrats in regards to they're taking your vote for granted. Being a resident of New York City, I don't know if she still lives here or not, but she's from New York, the Bronx to be exact, right? She's correct. They're taking advantage of the idea that you're going to just vote for them and they don't have to work for your vote, because it's the complacency she's talking about. It's the fact that most people don't even know who their local representatives are. They don't care to know, which makes it even worse. And the other thing is that they don't even know how to go onto either whitehouse.gov, senate.gov, House of Representatives.gov, New York Assembly, or wherever you live, assembly.gov, and find out how these people voted, what bills they are drafting to put together to try to get the votes to pass. Just everything they're doing in their everyday job as being a representative of the people, okay? So when she was complaining about the fact that, and mind you, she's mostly talking about New York City, the mayor is cutting budgets all across the city because the federal government did not give him the appropriate amount of block grants to pay for everything the city and state, well, he's only responsible for the city, for what the city needs. They also didn't give the state what the governor needed for her to do what she needs to do. So I say that to make a point, because most people say that ignorant shit because they don't know how government works, that my tax dollars pay for your job. And no, it doesn't. The federal government pays for everything each city and state requires. Your tax dollars are supposed to, keyword, supposed to go into the infrastructure of your city and state. We all know that they don't usually do that normally because we got potholes everywhere, tore up streets and everything else. So the majority of the time they're pocketing the money or reallocating it wrongly and doing the most stupidest things you can imagine possible, because they don't have money management skills, right? So, but the basis of it was the need for the money to be appropriated to all the programs so that children, when they go to school, could have everything they need in the classroom, everything from the textbooks to the extra paras to the after-school tutoring to the online tutoring to the after-school care. That is what she's talking about, which is what everybody is looking at in New York City. And she's also looking at the fact that because of you have all these migrants here, they're taking up the food stamps, the this, the that, the emergency resources for actual citizens of the city. That is what she was talking about. So when she's making those points, she was actually speaking the truth for once, right? And people who are ignorantly influenced, like the nosy neighbor lady who's on this, I guess, I don't know, riding the fence about being a divester, being a black woman with half a brain and everything else. Like, she doesn't seem to understand how government works, how elections work, and what is really important to people. And when people get mad and speak out about it, who have a platform to change and do something about it, she seems to take offense to it. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like Cardi B, okay? I don't promote or advocate for any woman, non-black woman, pretending to be a black woman to come up in this world and get accolades that a black woman deserves. A real black woman with a real black mother and a real black father, okay? So I'm not stomping and clapping for her, but I will give merit and give respect when a person makes an accurate statement and they give the correct information to the masses. So anyway, Cardi B was right about her comments in reference to how bad of a job Eric Adams is doing in New York City, and the fact that the federal government refuses to give him the money he repeatedly asked for. Okay? So when you go to vote, please do realize that you do not have to pick from the candidates that are there on the ballot or that are at the debate or who are running up and down in your neighborhoods begging for your vote to sell you out just when they get in office. You don't have to vote for any of them. You don't even have to vote for the president, either one of them. You could pick somebody else that everyone agrees on and just write their name in the ballot. And once that person you write in on the ballot gets the appropriate amount of votes to become president, senator, congressman, assemblyman, council person, whoever, they get the job. And all the other people fighting for the job, they don't. That is the best part of this country that no one utilizes. And when you try to tell them this is something you can do, they just look at you like you're stupid. And I think it's one of two reasons. One, because I don't think any of them have really voted on a regular basis to understand exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you could just write it in on the ballot. How hard is that? You take a pen and you write the person's whole name on the ballot where it says vote for president or whoever else. You write the person in. And they get the vote. No one else does. And if they get enough, then they go into office. And that is how that works. So that is the ultimate resolution to this idiotic argument that everyone tries to make between the unrealistic and untrue narrative of, oh, you must choose between the Democrats and the Republicans or this, that. No, you don't. You don't have to choose any of those people. You could put in whoever you want. This is why when I say and have said, as black women, you need to come together collectively throughout America to make decisions on who you want to represent you in office. People who have been tested and who have shown that their best interest lies in helping black women and children. Not worrying about uplifting and bigging up black males, because whenever a candidate speaks about that, you know they're not about nothing, okay? Because if you look at the statistics, the status of black males today, and just look at everything that they're doing in America, why would you even waste your time on trying to pour any attention, time, or money in them? If you don't know that that's going to be totally wasted and squandered, I don't know what to tell you. But Cardi B was right. People who are giving out messages like the nosy neighbor lady in reference to trying to make fun of Cardi B and insults her intelligence, she's wrong this time. And being a person who lives in the city, firsthand dealing with what Cardi B is talking about, she's absolutely right. And since Cardi B is in the position to utilize her platform to make change in the Democratic Party and to call for voters to actually wake up and vote another way, which is beneficial to themselves. I tell her, keep doing it and keep talking and screaming louder. And for the black women on YouTube that actually have the channels to promote unity of black women and the political progress, who don't do it, like Tanya TKO, even Cynthia G with her Patreon channel, that bullshit ass Princella, Sweet Life of Atari, all these people that have all of these narratives and storylines for black women to think about everything ridiculous except the collective coming together, fighting against black femicide and the political progression of black women in this country. If they're not calling out for the betterment of us, they all need to shut the fuck up. That's really my opinion, because they're not helping you. And when you do have somebody that comes out trying to help you, just because she doesn't fit your narrative or who you think she's supposed to be, doesn't mean her message is not valuable, because it is. Cardi B is so far the only person, and she's not even black, speaking out about things that affect poor people. Where's everybody else? Like, why didn't her husband have something to say? He's a black dude, a black male, right? He don't give a fuck. What about everybody else out there that has huge platforms that don't care about the next black person or black women? So when she did, and she's actually telling you something that is correct, I think people like the nosy neighbor lady and everybody else who had a problem with Cardi B, with what Cardi B had to say, they need to all just shut up. Shut up and either do what she's doing or get the fuck out the way. Because we don't need any more people to throw obstacles in the course of progress. And that's what those folks are doing. So, you know what I say? If I can find the damn key to the mailbox, I say, good for you, Cardi B. Good for you for speaking up and speaking out for people who can do it themselves, but who keep going out of their way to ignore the important shit, but find all the time in the world to talk about dumb shit that don't make no sense or no never mind. Colorism with men and women and everything else. Who cares? If you don't know how to vote properly, you're going to always be in poverty. And that's a fact. See you later.